My name is Gerald. I run a production company called Paper Street Production.
My name is Brian Ordiales. Nagtayo ako ng sarili kong negosyo. That's why we've met. So, I put up Cloud Studios. Direk, bakit nga ba naisip natin tong podcast?
Usually kasi pag naka-whiskey ka, mas open ka.
Mas open.
Diba?
Yeah. Ladies and gents, welcome to Life Over Whiskey podcast, where we share valuable life lessons and stories you can learn from over a glass of whiskey. My name is Brian.
And I'm Gerald.
Kamusta, Direk?
Ito, gabi na naman.
Oo, at parang very interesting tong magiging conversation natin tonight.
Actually, special episode din to for me. Kasi nakarelate ako dito eh.
We've invited one of your good friends.
Yeah.
But also, may co-host tayo today.
Ayun nga eh. Kasama na naman natin to.
Kasama na naman natin. Parang pwede siya maging mainstay. And as we were conversing kanina, iba talaga na, sometimes being spontaneous is very, parang you're opening more doors of maybe opportunities coming your way.
Correct.
And experiences, right? So, today with us, a co-host for this episode, Engineer Raketera, Ria Santos. Hey, Gia.
Hi guys. Thank you. Ito na naman tayo sa spontaneity.
But we've invited a special guest for today. She is a hypnotherapist by profession. But to talk more about what she does, let us all welcome Miss Ria. Hello.
Hi. Good evening to everybody. To Brian, Gia, and Gerald, and all the listeners. So,
Parang ganda ng boses.
Ganda talaga.
so soft. So anyway, well, hypnotherapy, if I may explain it, it's really using hypnosis as a therapeutic technique, because it allows you to access your subconscious mind, which is the most powerful part of your mind, and there make really creative and dynamic changes or improvements in your life. So precisely that's really how hypnotherapy works. And so the hypnotherapist is just mainly an assistant assisting the person to access his or her own subconscious so that she can make positive changes in their lives or achieve their dreams.
Yeah.
So I always tell everyone that whoever comes to me from the very beginning that hypnotherapy is a self-healing modality. I'm not the one healing you. You are the one healing yourself, because the subconscious is the repository of all your wisdom and experience. Everything you need to heal is already there. You should just be able to know how to access it and to do the necessary rewiring from there.
So you're facilitating the tapping into the subconscious.
Definitely. Yes. Yes.
A good way to
that's
put
what-
it. Yeah.
So, how long have you been doing this, Ria?
I started 2017. So my school is Hypnosis Motivation Institute. It's a school in the U.S. in California, and I started practicing here in the Philippines 2018 until now, until the present.
Wow. Galing. So, Ria, itong hypnosis, right?
Yeah.
Does it work lang ba sa mga taong may trauma? Or may certain age lang ng tao or gender na pwedeng pumunta sa'yo? Or, kahit ba sa sports, gumagana rin siya?
Yeah, who can greatly benefit.
Yeah, that's a good question.
you.
Because hypnotherapy, we usually deal with issues that are for vocational or avocational. No? So something that has to do with your work. Let's say a person needs nahihiya for public speaking,
Okay.
diba? Or naiinis sa boss niya, diba? So kailangan.
So kung marami kayo na naiinis sa boss nyo, baka kailangan nyo ng hypnotherapist. It's siguro just to break the stigma din na parang, hypnotherapist, ano ba to? Parang psychology na ba? Na parang they need to consult with you because they're experiencing things.
Yes.
So,
And
yeah.
also, actually, some of my friends nga, akala nila hypnosis is parang, or hypnotherapy, pupunta ka sa hypnotherapist, feeling nila may sira ulo mo.
Oo. Yung stigma that we
stigma,
kind of
but Pero
Need to
pag
break.
once na sinabi ko sa how it works, it becomes interesting na rin
Yeah,
sa
yeah.
kanila. So, yeah. So anyway, going
Yeah.
back.
Actually, those are very good questions kasi hypnotherapy, as I said, deals with vocational, avocational. So anything with mental or emotional disorders, we usually refer out to psychologists or psychiatrists. No, however, we work with them if they so deem fit to help the client or the patient, their patient.
Okay,
No,
gets.
because we can reinforce whatever they want their patient to work on. Let's say there was a cancer patient before, and usually pag cancer, di ba, parang they have already emotional
Stress.
issues or or
traumas as well.
consequences of their of their condition. So usually it's very difficult for them to follow through. No, now you have to do this, you have to do that. So hypnotherapy can help them in associate those things that they have to do, let's say chemotherapy, with relaxation and calmness. So they don't fear it, and then they have more energy to do whatever it is they need to do in order to heal. No, and as you well know, in the Mayo Clinic in the United States, they have a separate. They call it integrative and complementary medicine. It's a separate building altogether wherein they house hypnotherapy, Reiki, all the energy healing modalities. Because they do believe that cancer is not only cured through traditional medicine, but it's also cured through healing the emotional issues of the person.
Okay.
So it works well as an adjunct to traditional medicine. And at the same time, it empowers the person on his own. You know, like it's not seeking help from outside, but from your inside, and therefore you get to know how to manage your own issues. So it's not yung stigma na sira ulo mo. It's for those who, number one, quite uneducated,
Correct. Yeah.
and those who don't read up, which is. And I'm very, very happy to see that, coming to the Philippines, I realize so many are so progressive in their thinking. Ang dami. Ang daming nakakaisip ng hypnotherapy as a source of not managing their mental health.
Yeah.
At saka hindi naman ibig sabihin na pupunta ka ng hypnotherapy or ng psychologist na sira ulo ka. I mean, that's so archaic.
Yeah.
We're now in the 21st century, right? So, in effect, this is actually just another form of health and wellness.
Correct. So it's like doing yoga. Diba?
Exactly.
Diba?
I'm curious, Ria, because
Yes.
you mentioned when you were getting to know each other
Yeah.
that your background is in film and media.
Yes.
How and why did you get into this?
That's a very, very long
industry?
story. I think it's because when my sister introduced me back in 2015 to energy healing modalities, I was just coming in from a depression, to the point that way back in 2000, there were 4 years I wasn't able to work, because I repressed a certain issue that I had in childhood. So
Yeah.
it will always come up. It's like a volcano. It always come up, no? So it's very important for us to really deal with our issues, even if it's very difficult to do shadow work. That's what we call it. Yeah, right. So, in effect, after that, I was doing very well at work. I had my own business, etc. But sometimes when you're asking for your life mission or your soul purpose, it is inevitable that the universe will give it to you. Will show it to you. So
Yeah.
it moved me, even though I didn't really have any problems, but suddenly problems came up. Like people that I was working for with so many years, I didn't want to work with them anymore.
Correct,
And I felt since I had depression, I felt the initial stages of depression, but I knew I wasn't depressed.
Okay.
So I didn't want to do that anymore. And so it's like it helps you to push you towards the path that you're supposed to be in. And when I realized I had to stop what I was doing in order to find out, to discern what it is that I had to do. And when I did that, and I did a lot of energy healing modalities, I really iniisa-isa ko, yung mga energy healers that I trusted. Eventually, someone really suggested, I think, Ria Hypnotherapy, because I really told my guides already, tama na, just tell me already. Hindi ko na, I cannot do this scripting thing anymore.
Nahirapan siya.
Nahirapan
in
na ako
short.
sa kakadiscern. Yun, so, hypnotherapy, I realized, what the hell was it? I didn't even know what hypnotherapy was all about.
Pero, yan, curious ako dyan naniwala ka ba agad dun sa
Naniwala
sa-
ako
Agad,
kasi I was in the path of discernment. So the thing is, I believed in the process,
Okay.
and it's really stopping what I was doing. I resigned, from all my clients, to the point that they didn't even know what happened. They kept on asking me, what did we do wrong? It's like, nothing. It's really about my health, and which is true, no? And after that, when I looked for schools, everything just fell into place.
So, hindi ka nahirapan?
Hindi ako nahirapan kasi nung una, gusto ko sana Singapore kasi it was nearer, and I had a friend, pwede ako dun tulog sa kanya.
Yeah.
Sinabi sa akin, you're qualified, kaso hindi kami nagbibigay ng international visa. So sabi ko, naku, paano ba yan? All of a sudden, may nag-appear sa email ko, yung school ko, na hindi ko na aalala na nag-apply ako.
Galing.
And then sabi ko, oh my God, ito na nga. And then, nung nakita ko yung kanilang curriculum, they had Reiki, they had, yun na nga, yung parang energy healing. So sabi ko, oh my God, it's like right along my alley. They believe
meant to
that it has to go
Yeah.
together, right? So, lalo na nung nag-aaral ako, ngayon, intindihan ko na kung bakit lahat ng mga pinagdaanan ko.
Okay.
Lahat. At pati it all made sense, even my personality. I like listening. This talking is not normal to me. I like listening.
Yeah.
I'm just talking because I know I have to.
Change of,
Hindi,
change of
tsaka
pace.
ako, witness ako doon. Alam ko na mahilig makinig yan.
Oo. And active listening is not easy, right?
Yeah.
But ever since I was small, yun yung sinasabi sa akin na parang yung mga taong hindi ko kilala, bigla na naglalabas sa akin na kung ano-ano.
Yeah.
And I guess, I don't know, they say that I emit that. And, the one that you want to instill confidence, right? So, it all made sense. And now I'm so, so happy. I think when you find really the thing that you're supposed to do, the happiness and the joy, it's like, it's incomparable to any financial reward,
Yeah,
that
correct.
you can ever do. And all the blessings came in as well.
Yeah. But I love what you said na, coming into this field,
Yeah.
andun yung trust and belief mo in the process
Correct.
And then acknowledging that what you're experiencing is what it is right now.
Yes.
Tama ba?
Yes,
So,
yes.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And of course, for people who would be interested in knowing more about this, they have to really accept na ano ba nangyayari sa akin ngayon. Right? And sometimes yung acknowledgement na yun yung first step Is that correct?
That's very correct. Actually, yun ang sinasabi ko, parang, I'm not here, hindi ako nandito para ikumbinsihin kayo na mag-hypnotherapy. No, you come here convinced. If not, then evacuate. Then go out again and then convince yourself. Because if you come here not convinced, we're not gonna have a good session.
Correct.
Diba? Kasi hindi naman subconscious ko ang gagamitin subconscious ninyo.
Yeah.
Kung hindi kayo kumbinsido, sayang naman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pero if may I ask, I mean, kasi since Ria is here, curious lang ako, ikaw, Bri, meron ka bang childhood trauma?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anong childhood trauma mo? I mean, lahat tayo meron for sure
Ako, siguro, growing up, I would always find or seek the approval of my father.
Okay.
Kasi parang siguro like this is an experience a lot of people have na parang growing up nakikita ko na whenever mali yung ginagawa ko, pinapansin ako, pinupuna ako, tapos pinagalitan ako. Tapos kapag may tama akong ginawa or ang ganda ng mga grades ko sa school, walang imik. Parang sabi ko,
Hindi ka pinupuri?
Hindi ako pinupuri.
Okay.
It's parang somewhat na-associate ko yun sa utak ko. Na, so if I do something wrong or pumalpak puro palakol yung grades ko sa school. Pinupuna ako. So like, I don't know, for a very long time, ganun yung naging process ko. But eventually, I grew out of that naman.
Okay.
So, ayun. And I had that clearing conversation with my father.
That's good.
Oh,
Okay yun.
nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
How about you, Gia? Ano ang childhood trauma mo?
Madami.
Dito na pinaka-significant.
Pero siya mag-unload.
Mag-upload na ito. Kidding. I think one of the, similar naman, I felt like I had to, like, love was a transaction. Like, if I received love, I had to give it
Give
back.
love.
Parang I didn't know that it was possible to just receive love without feeling the pressure to give it back. Siguro kasi parang, I'm panganay. And my parents were young when they had me. So I guess parang, alam mo yun, parents didn't have a manual on how to raise a child. So I was there first, and I think everyone's learning naman in the process. And for me, yung feeling ko then was, I had to earn love. Kasi ganun din, parang whenever I would get criticisms or mapagalitan, I would feel that. Maybe it's innate. So it was that na na-carry ko, I guess, until adulthood, that I only recently became aware of that. I always, everything that I was doing pala, like my working hard, achieving, it was coming from, and not being able to ask for help and receive help fully. It was coming from that childhood experience of always feeling like I had to earn love, that love was a transaction.
Oh, okay.
Love
Gets.
was transaction.
Pero,
That's what lang sa akin na parang to add on the thought process ko kanina. Yung parang dumating sa point na ayokong put on the spotlight or limelight. Kasi nga, parang kapag you do good, parang wala akong nare-receive. So parang gano'n. So yun yung parang somewhat childhood trauma ko din na nadala ko in my personality before. So once that I was able to clear that out, doon na parang, okay, it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay to make mistakes. But the important thing is, I'm true to myself and, my beliefs and values. Ayan. Ikaw, Direk. Tatanungin si Direk kasi may tinanong ako.
Pero add ko lang, to clarify lang din, I guess gusto ko lang i-add that having that conversation then with my parents, it's what also helped me get over that kind of experience na it was only me making assumptions about how they were, na parang, dapat balik ko sa kanila yung love, but they were loving me unconditionally pala.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So, ikaw
How
going
about you,
to you
Derek?
direct.
ako, may similarity naman. Pero, like, kasi yung mother ko is a single mom.
Yeah.
So, technically, she needs to act now father ko and mother ko at the same time, right?
Dalawang role, dual role siya.
Dual role. So, may tendency siya sometimes na compare ko with other people. So, ako, parang when I was young, naalala ko meron nga isang instance. Kasi ano yun dalawa yun Since wala siya, she's working, may time na sasabihin niya, si ganito, ang galing sa ganito, dapat ganun ka rin kagaling. So, that's one Tapos may isa pa, ito yung mas higher level naman na isa. May time na I would go out sa house and then would play with other children, like street childrens lang talaga sila. Yung mga tipong, wala lang. I mean, yung batang kalye, diba? I would play with them. And then, syempre, itsura ko is different because my dad's a foreigner, right? So, tutuksohin ka, pag bata ka. No, I was maybe around, di ko sure kung 8 years old or 10 years old siguro, parang ganyan, So, lokohin ka, ampon. Kasi yung itsura ko, iba. Diba? Kasi itsura ko iba. So ngayon, makipag-away ka. Makipagsuntukan ka pag bata ka, di ba? So, pag nakapagsuntukan ka, at that time, those boys are bigger than me.
Yeah.
So, ano mangyayari? I would go home and crying. Uwi ako. Nagulpi ako. So, ngayon, here comes my uncle. Papaluin ako. Papaluin ako ng sintron. Kasi gusto niya, bawian ko.
Ay.
So, ang question doon is to, naging positive effect ba siya sa akin and negative? Both meron. So, ang positive doon is that, parang kay Gia, natuto kong tumayo sa sarili kong paa. Na hindi po pwedeng ganun lang.
Yep.
But at the same time, now that I'm a father, naisip ko, parang hindi ata parang hindi ata dapat ginawa yun. So, having said that, Ria, dun sa experiences naming tatlo, ano yung, paano pumapasok si hypnotherapy doon?
Yeah.
Because like, you know that 0 to 8, that's what they call
Programming.
it's the ages we're in. You're really learning, right? So if it was happened during those ages, it's very it can already, you can really say that could influence you in your decisions later in life. So we have an inner child protocol. I call that inner child, wherein we take out the limiting beliefs that were learned as a child. So you rewire, you relearn certain things na, everything, most of it boils down to self-love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually relearning how to love yourself and know that it's not selfishness, but it's something that will allow you to love others more and better if you love yourself.
It's true.
Galing. Galing, no?
Pero direct, ikaw ba? Kasi siyempre, you had a session na rin with
Ria.
Ria,
Yeah.
right? How for you has hypnotherapy helped with your trauma?
Actually,
Ano ba yung pwede natin i-share dito?
Well,
when
I'll
it comes
share
to
na
your
lang
experience?
na short story, no? 2020, I was having how do I say it? Siguro
Breakdown?
depression. Hindi naman breakdown. Depression and
Depression.
anxiety because at that time, syempre lockdown. For the first 3 months, it was okay. Kasi
Yeah.
parang okay lahat eh. 'Di ba? Parang yung session natin last time, 'di ba? Parang kaya lang nakikita mo that your bank account is depleting.
Yeah.
Tapos, syempre, I have 2 kids, right?
Marami ka pang employed, right?
Employed. So, parang, ikaw, for yourself, minsan, isip mo, okay, ano mangyayari sa bukas? Paano? So, ito yung pumatato ko sa isip ko, family ko, negosyo ko, paano? At saka yung mga tao umaasa sa akin. Diba? So, at that time, and relationships too, with my friends, also with family.
Yeah.
So parang sabay-sabay na parang feeling ko paano ko i-handle. I mean, kahit naman na sinong tao at that stage, parang medyo hindi ka na clear mag-isip eh.
Yeah. Na-overwhelmed ka na rin.
Overwhelmed na ako. So what I did is that, syempre, I don't really feel like going out. And although I can't go out, but I mean like, sample, di ba medyo naging maluwag nun, yung nung after the lockdown. Tapos parang hindi na ako kasing sigla ng dati. So sabi ko, parang anong gagawin ko? 'Di ba? And then, nahanap ni Chai, si Ria, through
Connections?
Instagram.
Kasi parang sabi niya, I need my man to be 100%. Hindi ka ganyan eh. Hindi ka ganyan eh. Sabi niya eh. So, gusto ko bumalik yung dating ikaw. So, parang feeling ko lahat ng advice ko sa'yo, hindi mo na sinusunod. So, kailangan na ng higher thing.
Pero but you said yes, I mean,
at first, I was hesitant. Kasi feeling ko, sabi ko, ako baliw.
yun na nga
Hindi ako
yung,
baliw.
yung stigma.
Diba?
yung predominant judgment
hindi ako
pagdating sa
baliw.
mga
Sabi
ganitong
ko,
bagay.
Tapos nung inaral ko, okay. So, sabi ko, pwede pala to sa sports, pwede pala to sa kung saan bagay. And then, ayun na. After ko mag-session sa kanya, doon na nangyari yung I started praying again. I started meditating again. I started doing the things that I love, which is jump rope or any kind of sports. And then I was optimistic again. So parang...
By the way, yung jump rope ibang level yung naging ano ka din, di ba? Naging coach ka din.
Yeah.
So like, it's serious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Especially nung he has a lot of videos about
But
about
anyway...
that. Sorry, ano ko lang.
Yeah, it's okay.
Nadidistract na naman.
But anyway, ang point
Like-
ko lang,
Yeah. Sige, go.
kaya ko rin talaga in-invite si Ria, is that para ma-educate yung mga tao what hypnotherapy is. Actually, I've been sending some of my closest friends sa kanya because it worked for me eh.
Yeah.
So that's why I believe in this practice. So, yun.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So you should try it too.
Yeah.
Both of you.
I've always been curious about hypnotherapy. Like, what's the extent? Like, does it look like? Like the session, how long, mga ganun, like those kinds of, pwede ba yun i-share?
Yeah. Actually,
Sorry. Okay.
in the States, kasi it's just 55 minutes, no? But here, iba kasing Pinoy. I realized na kailangan talaga natin magsalita Tsaka may time tayo magsalita.
Yeah.
So, I give, for first session, I give 3 hours. Kung malaman to ng aking mga mentors, maluloko sila. Kasi sa stage, 55 minutes na, talaga, goodbye. So, but I realized na ang dami talagang kailangan maglabas. Diba? Na wala silang malabas, diba?
Yeah.
So, that in itself helps already. Yeah,
Sometimes,
sorry.
I mean, it's good to have someone you can unload na walang alam about you in a sense, or like
Yes.
not a family member,
Correct,
your close
correct.
friend.
In
Kasi
fact-
they would have maybe bias or judgment already.
And
I don't know.
ito,
That's
just to
true.
add,
That's true.
sabi ko nga, si Ria is the best friend that we never had. Totoo yun. Kasi, I mean, we're humans.
O baka naghanap ka ng best
Oh,
friend.
hindi. We're humans. Siyempre, we tend, sometimes, i-judge mo pa rin eh. I mean, di ba? But with her, parang it feels na, as in parang pinakikinggan ka niya.
Yeah.
And hindi naman siya yung tipong parang pag meron kang, let's say, maling ginagawa, she would tell you na, oy, kahit mali ginagawa mo, tama yan. No, she's not the type. It's just that
Yeah.
parang ang gaang mag-unload sa kanya.
Mm.
So, yun. That's my take.
And yet.
And yet.
And yet.
And yet,
May sinasabi
eto pa rin ako. Eto pa rin.
Sabi niya, pinapakinggan daw
Positive
ba?
pa rin.
But it's really, I guess, a work in progress.
Yeah.
A lot of the
Totoo
times.
naman.
Parang kahit na you give maybe an insight on the direction that a person needs to take, you know, darating sa point na they have to recalibrate with you eh.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's a good thing to bring up. I always tell them, ang hypno sessions natin parang Meralco poles yan. Ang sessions, yung self-hypnosis na gagawin nyo every day after this until our next session are like the wires that connects the poles.
Okay.
Kung wala yon, wala tayong electricity. So, you need to do your own work. You know, you need to do your own
Your part.
self-hypnosis because this is for you, diba? And it takes 21 days to make a habit. So, those who follow what I say, wow, really makes tremendous and really dynamic changes,
Progress,
no? Yun. So, I tell them that you have to come here with an open heart, an open mind, willingness and determination to change. Those are the attitudes that I really seek. That's why when I do consultation with someone, I look for that
Yeah.
because I want them to succeed.
Correct.
And without that, it will be very difficult,
Yeah.
diba? Because it's not mine. That's why nga, yeah, well, that's really what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
That's the key siguro no, na parang sabi mo nga, it's their subconscious that they're accessing, so they have to do the work and you're just there to assist.
Yes, and the attitude is very important.
Yeah.
You know, that I'm determined, I'm open, and I always tell them, just surrender to the process, no resistance.
But sometimes it takes time for them to be open to, you know.
Usually when people come, they are ready
They
to open.
already are.
They're ready to
Yes,
open.
yes.
Yung
Open
mga
na sila.
hindi, yung mga siguro napupush na, I mean, it's a good thing Gerald was open because it was really his wife, no? But usually mga ganon na, but I don't really get much of that. Kasi siguro, when you come to me, na-research mo na,
Yeah.
na-acknowledge mo na may mali, di ba? Na ang kailangan.
Baka nag-self, nag-self,
Most of them, ang dami na. Oo, most of them, ang dami nang ginawa. And then I also combine energy healing modalities that I do because I really believe that the approach should be more holistic in terms of not just your mental health, but also your spiritual
Correct.
and emotional bodies, right?
Correct.
So, I also refer out to other energy healers that I trust.
Yeah. I think,
Yeah.
you
And
have
with that,
anything to add?
ako naman, I can just text her.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, Bri, ako may question lang sa inyo before we end this podcast.
Yeah.
What's your takeaway for today?
I think one of the major takeaways ko talaga today when it comes to dealing with childhood traumas is you have to acknowledge that it is present, that it's there, and having the discernment na, you know, maybe I need help.
Yeah.
You know, kasi sometimes ang dalas natin sarilihin yung problema. Where meron naman palang makakatulong sa atin to be on a path na gusto natin.
Yeah.
So I think that's my main takeaway.
How about you?
Yeah. I think two things. One is na-inspire ako sa story ni Ria of how she ended up doing this work.
Doing this.
Na
Yeah.
parang be open lang talaga to all possibilities and opportunities and follow your path and intuition.
Sabi natin, di ba? Ang hirap magsalita ng tapos.
Ang hirap magsalita
Totoo
ng
yun.
tapos. Kasi hindi
Parang
mo alam.
kahit
eh.
neto na
Kakainin
yung
mo yung
ngayon.
sinabi mo eh.
Correct.
Exactly.
Oo,
diba?
Exactly.
Diba?
So, Ria, can you, do you have any social media?
Yeah,
that-
where can they reach you and maybe consult with you regarding your services?
Yeah. I only have one. It's in my Instagram. It's Ria Yap Hypnotherapy.
Okay.
RIAYAP.
Correct.
Hypnotherapy.
RIAYAP.
So, gaano katagal sila bago makapagpabook ng session sa'yo usually?
I answer at once, pero the sessions is usually maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks in
2
advance.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
So yeah, if you think that you would be able to use or maximize the potential of hypnotherapy in your own
Yeah.
life, then feel free to message Ria and have your consultation. And with that, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so much.
listening
Thank
on this
you.
episode. We'll see you on the next one.
bye.
Bye.